Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. This is Felix. So today I want to talk about the money mistakes I made in my 20s. So right now I'm 30 years old. I'll be turning 31 this year. So there are a lot of money mistakes I made in my 20s. So I just want to talk about them. So when it comes to compound interest on your investment, time is your greatest ally. The longer you can invest your money, the sooner you can retire with lots of money. And that is why it's so important to start investing in the like button and subscribe. Okay, seriously though. So that is why it's so important you start investing in your 20s or even earlier if it is possible. So luckily for me, I was able to start my career at the age of 22 and started investing into my job's retirement plan where they match up to 5% of my contributions. However, I made some money mistakes in my 20s that I could have used to invest and retire even earlier than 60 years old. So here are the 5 money mistakes I made in my 20s. So the first is getting loans. Like most people, I never thought about paying for my big purchases in cash. And instead, I would get loans for them. And all of my loans were paid off early, but all the interest I paid definitely hindered me from investing. Out of the 5 total vehicles I owned since I was 18, 3 of them were purchased with loans. Recently, I stumbled upon Dave Ramsey and learned that if I cannot pay for it in cash, I cannot afford it. I wish I learned about Dave back in my 20s, but I'm grateful that I was able to learn about this fact in my early 30s. Number 2 is to press the like button and subscribe. So number 2 is buying new vehicles. So out of the 5 vehicles I owned, I bought 3 brand new vehicles. New vehicles lose their value as soon as you leave the parking lot of the dealer, and they depreciate very quickly in their first year. So for me, on top of the loan interest, the value of my vehicles dropped very quickly. I am sure I lost thousands of dollars just within the first years for my vehicles. Now for my future purchases, I'll be buying vehicles that are a couple years old, and I'll still get the new car feeling without the new car price. Number 3 is not investing outside of my retirement from work. Like I mentioned earlier, I had money going into my work retirement account. And I will not be able to withdraw that money until I am 59 and a half years old. But I want to retire earlier than that, which means I will have to invest on my own. And I did not start investing outside of work until earlier this year. And when the market dropped late March, early April timeframe, I put in $10,000 into stocks and kept on adding money each week. If I would have started in my 20s, I would have had a larger amount of money and potentially could have retired earlier. Currently, my goal is to retire when I'm 50, so I have 20 years of investing to do. Number 4 is eating out a lot. So my next mistake is that I was eating out a lot. We were eating out 5 to 6 times a week. Granted, I was working a lot of overtime last 5 years, but on average, we would spend $40 each time we go out. That's $200 to $300 a week and $800 to $1,000 a month. Pretty much a good chunk of my overtime was going to eating out. If we cooked at home, I could have invested at least $500 extra a month for the last 5 years. Currently, we have a limit of eating out maximum of 2 times a week, and for the past couple months, we have only been eating out once a week and mostly on the weekends. So right now I don't work overtime, but with the steps I mentioned in my top 5 ways I like to live frugally, which will be linked in the description, we have been able to save a lot of money and invest all the money in our brokerage accounts. Number 5 is shopping for instant gratification. We are huge fans of Amazon Prime, and we used to buy a lot of things that we did not need, and it was mostly impulse buys. So we started a strict rule of waiting 3 days after the urge to decide if we need it or not. Most times we were able to beat the urge and save money. I could have ended up buying AirPods and iPads and etc., but ended up deciding that I don't need them. We have saved a lot of money this way. So these were the top 5 money mistakes I made in my 20s. And I think a lot of people make similar mistakes that could prevent them from building wealth. I wish I was doing this when I was in my 20s, but I'm really glad that I was able to change my bad money habits and steered into the right path in my early 30s. So, thank you all for watching my video, and if you enjoyed it, please press the like button and subscribe. I'll be uploading videos Mondays and Fridays, and if there are special occasions, I will upload on Wednesdays. Take care, and I will see you all later.